One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back. Have you ever listened to Fish?
Out of a fish.
That you got from Electric Fish Lights?
Shit.
The National Motion Picture Association and Academy of Arts and Sciences has given Electric Fish Lights the John B. Sidebender Award for the most creative and fantastic lights on the planet. So
That was not true.
who said?
Me.
Look it
I
up.
said it.
I'm telling you.
But what is
It sounds true.
is that John B is cooking up some dope ass lights over at Electric Fish.
You know what they have there over there?
Where's the word?
There.
Over the door?
Over there.
Over the door? There you
I'm
go.
not sure where that is.
They have these lights that are made with these little pieces of plastic. It's called IQ lights.
I wonder if they're recycled.
And it stands for interlocking quadrilateral. It's a system made up of 30 interlocking pieces that can be configured into 15 different shapes.
Dang.
And then when you take those shapes and you add them together, it's pretty much endless what they can do. So you figure out what you want them to design and they'll build it. They do any shape, color, size, and all lamps come fully assembled and are ready to be plugged in when they arrive. And what's really cool, like you said, they're made from upcycled plastic. So think like milk jug plastic. That's what these things are made out of. And they come with a 12-foot cord, a 12-year energy efficient, safe to leave on LED light bulb, and a hardware kit to hang the lights. So this is not some like, you're not just getting some bullshit. This is the real deal. This is like, I think hanging these up like in the Easy Up at a festival.
Jasper has 2 of them in his room and loves them.
Night lights for your kids, and they can be used outdoors. So what Electric Fish Lights does is they make custom designs for people that give them ideas for their lights. So you can go to their Instagram. It's at Electric Fish Lights, or the website www.electricfishlights.com, and check out what I'm talking about. And they're doing a promo for the No Simple Road family. If you put in the promo NSR when you check out, you're going to get 10% off.
10%, guys, gals.
And any NSR family member that orders a light with the color changing upgrade gets a limited edition special promotional print No Simple Road. So,
And I've said before, you want the upgrade. Get the upgrade.
Yeah, the
Do it.
upgrade really is
Because if you
worth
don't, you're just going to
everything.
want to add it afterwards, and then you
Yeah.
missed out on getting it in the first place.
Yeah.
then you got to like go through the whole shipping thing again and do the whole do. So
And it's a 12-year light bulb. That's awesome. The LEDs now, like,
And it's indestructible. These are some sturdy, hardy like pieces that you can have So add it to your fun time, your festival time when that happens again, your bedtime, your cute little...
You could even get an all-white one and have it be classy.
Yeah, that looks amazing. Like as a, drop at the dining room. Or
we have.
We're going to use ours tonight for our celebration.
Sweet. So go to @electricfishlights on Instagram or www.electricfishlights.com. And when you check out, put in the promo code NSR, and remember, get that upgrade, and you'll get a free No Simple Road poster that is a collaboration between us and Electric Fish Lights. Support the No Simple Road family of sponsors.
Define Premium Cannabis happens to be one of our sponsors.
Yay, Define!
Yay!
Premium Cannabis.
Define has two. Whoa.
Right on.
But they have two locations, one in Forest Grove and the other is in Hillsboro, which is where Apple works.
And you should see, when you go over there, Apple comes out. Have you guys ever seen like the Masons parade when the Shriners have those little cars and the fez hats? Apple comes out of the back room in one of those little go-kart things with one of those fez hats on with a magic wand, and he touches you on your third eye, and then the kind of herb that you need or product that you want comes out of your mouth.
And I did have a pet monkey, but they made me not bring that to work anymore.
Yeah, that's not sanitary, especially during COVID. So
He had a little fez cap, too.
he did. Go over to the location in Hillsboro or the one in Forest Grove. Take your time over there. It's a lot. There's a lot happening on those shelves, man. Apple is responsible for buying all those products, and I'll tell you what, they have exactly what you need. No matter if you smoke, if you wipe it on yourself, if you eat it, if you drink it, if you inhale vapor of it, they've got it. So go over to Define Premium Cannabis in Hillsboro, Forest Grove. Tell them you are part of the No Simple Road family. You'll get 10% off your purchase and a free t-shirt.
Free t-shirt.
Great t-shirt.
And take care of your head. Shop Tour Bus.
Shop
Tour Bus.
Shop Tour Bus.
Me and, I went out of order.
You guys blew it.
We
We didn't blow it. We brought it.
We brought it back around.
Yeah.
We're coming around.
Yeah.
It was a solo duet.
Folks over at Shop Tour Bus are hooking you up with a new sticker pack, you guys. It's sticker pack number 9. It is on the way. It is the Rose Bus, Fire on the Mountain, Broke Down Palace, St. Stephen. These are 4-inch vinyl die cuts. They are water resistant and they are badass. This little Rose Bus is so cool, man. And they are embroidering them on hats, and they got the stickers. And remember, Shop Tour Bus is the world's finest Grateful Dead inspired merchandise on the planet and any other planet. I'm guessing other planets in the universe and solar system don't have Shop Tour Bus level of coolness.
No. They may be cool, but not that cool.
Mm-mm. And it's going to come in a hand-designed box with a Grateful Dead lyric on the inside, a bootleg tape, all kinds of extras, and you're going to get free shipping because you're part of the No Simple Road family. Put in the promo code No Simple Road when you check out. That shit's going to come to you for free. And you know what? Those guys over at Shop Tour Bus are our friends and
Yes,
our
they
family,
are.
and we love them. Go check them out at shoptourbus.com online, or, whoa, what'd I just say? At Shop Tour Bus on Instagram or shoptourbus.com online. There it is. I'm high.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, coffee companies, give us free shit.
This episode is brought to you by Coffee. Cool.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's up?
Osiris Media is putting out this brand new original weekly series called Past, Present, Future, Live.
It's dope as shit.
It's
dude.
really awesome. Apple, what's it about?
Well, it's artists talking about the past, present, future, live. Well, it's a weekly show that tells the story of artists' music journey in 4 parts.
Not 3.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Past, present, future, live.
Oh.
Maybe that's where the name came from.
That does.
Oh.
That makes sense now.
I hear this one's pretty bad.
It's a conversation between artist and audience, and intimate stories about early inspirations, the creative process, and what they're learning along the way. From their first music lesson
That's dope.
to the first paid gig.
Aw.
We discover the unique journey of each guest, and every episode closes with a live original performance of the songs that made the artist who they are today.
That's fucking cool, man. So every episode, you're going to get some insight into who these people are in the past, in the present, and then who they're trying to be in the future and what they're trying to make their music into. And then you're also going to get a live performance from that artist. The first one is with Eric Krasno, and I can't remember who the second one is with. Let me look it up real quick. Hang on.
Well, that's one reason we love being where we're at, because this is brought to you by Osiris Media.
Yeah.
Osiris has really been putting out such fantastic musical memorabilia on the podcast waves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really grateful to be a part of that.
Yeah, me too, man. It's super inspiring to be part of a group that's doing stuff like this. The first episode of Past, Present, Future Live is with Eric Krasno, and the next one that came out on Tuesday is with Rhett Miller. So go check that out, and check out all the other podcasts on Osiris Media, including No Simple Road. Since you're here, you know what I'm saying.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongssummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
We all need to be involved in what's going on. That's all I'm saying, man.
Exactly.
Get out of bulldozer mode, put it in backhoe mode.
Okay, backhoe mode.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. Hey
Backhoe.
now, No Simple Road family, what's going on, everybody? How you doing out there? Is everybody feeling okay? Let's hear it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Right on.
I'm
Cool.
feeling good over here.
Are you?
Yeah. This side of the table is like really comfortable.
How's Mel's side of the table?
I'm feeling good today. I'm excited about celebrating Simon's graduation that we have had to put off.
You know what? Yeah, we had never mentioned that. Like, all you graduates out there,
Yeah.
and parents of graduates out there,
Congratulations.
congratulations, man.
We're sending that out right now. You're right. It is overdue, babe. Simon graduated, and it was not monumental.
It was
in any
Very
kind of way.
uneventful.
And in fact, we still don't have his diploma or whatever. And so it's been hard because with Sid, just life has been just challenging right now. But today I decided to take the opportunity to do a little special event for him. So we're throwing him a dinner party. And
we're going to dress up fancy and have
we're
fancy
having
food.
fancy food.
I still like that we're doing a roast.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're doing a roast. Exactly. You can explain it, Apple.
Well, Mel came with the idea earlier this week. She pitched it to us, and it's just a cute idea, like kind of like the comedy roasts and stuff. But I mean, we're not going to be mean or anything. But we're going to make.
Well, it was a love roast.
A roast rack, two roast rack of lambs. That's a tongue twister
Yeah.
almost.
Racks of lamb.
Because Simon loves lamb, and then we're doing whole roasted chickens with veggies. We're doing
Spinach and artichoke dip, roasted.
roasted pears and apples.
Roasted cauliflower.
we're doing the brie, like roasted pastry brie. We're gonna do
Yeah, that's
a bunch
yeah.
of cool things and have a few friends over. His
Well,
girls
actually, no,
coming
there's no
over.
friends.
Just family.
Just my sister and her man. It's like a family affair. Yeah.
Is Simon's friend still coming in
No.
to town? Oh no,
No,
okay.
I guess that was not like confirmed.
So
it was a
we're having a nice
teenage-
little
it was a
soiree,
teenage plan.
a roasty soiree.
Yeah, a
is what
sweet
we're-
family, soiree is,
And
try
any
to-
dessert, like we were saying, I mean, these kids, we love you all out there.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
anybody
they
graduating from
got-
college too.
They were planning. They're sitting here planning their prom and everything. Back in February and picking out outfits and getting ready, and then it was just pulled out from under them. So
Yeah.
It's sad, man, but it also is an accomplishment that is a milestone in your life that deserves to be
And yeah,
celebrated.
you should get recognized
Yes,
for
And
that
you should-
because
you
it's
did
hard.
the work. You did the work, and you deserve the accolade for doing the work and making it through. I did not make it through high school, and it's a huge accomplishment in my mind, man.
Me too.
Like you said, things are weird, and so that has to do with
Things,
this.
I just feel even better. I'm sorry. Go
It's
ahead.
okay. That has to do with this episode this week. Is
Yes.
Mark Levy from Circles Around the Sun.
Welcome, Mark.
So we held on to this episode for a while. The content of the conversation, I felt like you guys needed to hear this at the right time. And right now really feels like the right time for everybody to absorb what the content of this conversation is. It made me see being in quarantine in a completely different light. It changed my perspective on things 100%. And this was recorded before all the social unrest that's going on right now. So that's not discussed, but we were in the midst of still just being in quarantine and dealing with the struggle of that. At least I was having a hard time with being confined indoors and working from home for the first time and not going to shows and not going out to do stuff and just dealing with the solitary nature of that and being in my own head too much. And then after we talked to Mark, I saw it completely different, and it kind of like released the pressure in my head.
it was really cool to hear from a musician's viewpoint of what they're going through and how much he appreciates home and making the best of it and his roses and his garden.
Yeah.
And Mark is he's such a nice, sweet, gentle soul.
He's a sweetheart for sure.
Yeah, man. And it's a trip when you're doing something like No Simple Road, and I don't know, excuse me. I think one of the things that's come out of quarantine for the show in my mind is like I'm realizing more and more that our voice matters in our community, and then understanding the responsibility that comes with being heard and people listening. And I know that when I first started No Simple Road and then you guys joined, I never really considered that fact, like the weight of word and what we say and what we do. It was just us doing our thing. It was no big deal. And then getting feedback from the family on, wow, I listened to you guys and you got me through this or that. Or, you know, I got to find this note from this one of our listeners that he said, you know what? I'm just going to play it. Check this out. He can say it a lot better than I can destroy what he already said. So hang on, here we go.
Hello, No Simple Road folk. This is Eli coming to you from Cincinnati, Ohio. Huge fan of the show. I'm absolutely in love with every single one of you. Every time one of you says even just a word, you know, it's an immediate head change, not unlike ripping a bowl after a long day, you know. So I just wanted to share some thoughts with you guys. About some current events stuff, if that's all right. I don't know if this is the proper format or if you'll play this on the show. I'm not concerned with that. It's not my decision to make for you. Feel free to if you want. But I really just wanted to. I felt called to share some thoughts I've been having with you guys. And I guess I'll start with a Facebook post that I saw about the different roles that one plays in, a quote unquote revolution. And, it was about how it doesn't matter what lane you're in as long as you keep your foot on the pedal. And that really resonated with me after feeling a little down for not being out on the front lines, when I was honest with myself, and that's just not who I am. I'm a really passive person. I'm not going to be out on the streets doing that. That's very important work. However, it's just not me. But, you've got your frontliners, you've got your people that are sharing information and deflecting misinformation. You've got your people that are running medical supplies and your people who are like handing out food and water. And then you have the category that I believe I fall into where, you're the ones that are holding it down emotionally for everybody, reminding them why we're doing this and what we're trying to bring out of it, the good we're trying to bring out of it. And, just making sure everybody's mental health is intact, because emotions are very high right now. We're in a very volatile and tumultuous time period in our history. And so I feel that the best way for me to do my part is to shed some light on what's going on. And part of that is sharing this with you guys. And so I feel like, I tend to try to zoom out of things and try to see them from a wider view, I guess. And I'm a firm believer in whatever you want to call it, the consciousness shift, the great awakening, whatever. But you get what I'm throwing down, I'm sure. I'm a firm believer in that. And I know that thing takes a series of processes, one after another, to come into fruition to bring this new age into frame and move the old one out. And I feel like if you zoom out, you can see the beginning of what is a archaic system being dismantled. No matter how much in its infancy that process is, I like to think that's what's happening here. And it's really beautiful when you think about it, and it fills me with a lot of hope because of the good that we're trying to bring out of this. And I guess the point of it is that love is pushing through. Love is pushing through. It's pushing hate out of the way, and it's saying, yo, this is, this is. That's it. I feel like that's kind of a good thing to keep in mind when we see all this crazy shit happening around us, man. It's just a crazy time to be alive, and it's easy to sit around and feel sorry for yourself. I'm not saying you guys are, but just in general, it's easy to watch it all happening and think that it's all happening outside of you. But I feel like this is a result of individuals digging deep into their own bullshit and rerouting programs with viruses in them and rewriting the code so that the system operates more harmoniously. And I feel like humanity at large is reflecting that in a lot of ways. And humanity is digging back generations to find the root of what's going on and plucking the weed from the garden of the human race. Wow. Mm-hmm. So that flowers can grow in its place. Love is pushing through. I don't know. These thoughts are still somewhat fragmented. I'm sure you may have noticed, but I don't know. I just really felt the need to express this to you guys, and to anyone who will listen. Really, I've been saying it on my social media a lot, and I just feel like I need to get these thoughts into people's ears. I don't know where they're coming from, but I have to answer to it, and I have to do my part and to step into my role as a healer on this earth, to remind people that it ain't all sunshine and rainbows, but they're out there, I feel a lot of hope for humankind right now, and despite everything that's going on, I feel like the end result of this will be an evolved people as a whole, and a more harmonious way of coexisting alongside one another and with the earth. So that concludes my rant. I love you guys so much.
Love you too.
And I hope you guys are. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your heads are running smoothly and your hearts are beating easy, because I know a lot of people's aren't. So I just thought I'd share this with you guys. Thanks.
Hell yeah, Eli.
What a compassionate
Wow.
response, and a very healing and mindful response.
Yeah,
Very honest.
Or
and
not
just-
even a response. I guess he didn't respond to
Post.
anything.
No,
That
that's
message-
awesome that it wasn't like he did. That obviously just came out, Eli. Like you said, it may be, you don't know what's going to come out until you voice it. That was
Yeah.
awesome that you just
Yeah, that was beautiful.
recorded that and sent it. That's raw, and that's
There
true
was a
emotion.
couple good points that I want to get to.
Well, the reason that I played that, like what I was saying before I started that, was the weight of having a platform and using your voice for something. And I think the long and short of it is that thing has been ambiguous for me, like for a while. And after listening to what Eli had to say, I realized where we sit as a show. And it's in that place that he's talking about making sure that everybody feels like they have a place that they can come, emotionally speaking, and be with people that are coming from a place of love, and not having to worry and watch your back, and feeling like there's a community out there for you, and having connection to other human beings in a time when there's a lot of division and separation, and there's none of that here. And so we're offering a place of respite or solace in the midst of the battle that's going on.
A tent in the desert.
Yep. Yeah, totally. So what were you going to say, Mel, about?
Well, there's a few things because, I think I don't think, you and I talked about it last week about needing to have a bigger conversation, because there's so much going on, so many things to be addressed, and we haven't been necessarily vocal about, the issues with the police brutality and things like that, other than, it's happening. And he was saying in the very beginning that he was, there's places and there's things for people. Some people are the ralliers and the hype men, the forerunners of the revolution, the soldiers. If every single person was a soldier, what would happen if a soldier got hurt?
Right.
Who would tend to that soldier? And it brought clarity to my role right now, because I work with a lot of millennials, and we have one, you know, and
two.
Yeah, two.
Rider.
And we live in this earth and we're affected by it, like our families and our friends and all of that. And it's hard to, I'm having a hard time even saying misspeak. When you have a platform and you have somewhere to say something and people are listening, what you say can be a feather or
an anvil.
An anvil, exactly. You know, a spike or tender hands, and if you're not saying anything and you usually look to this forum for comfort, it can be a bit, you know, not as a refuge as you once thought. But for me and how I feel and what's going on in this, I have a very personal stake in this, and then a very a stake like everybody else does, like, you know, generally. And because I come from a healing background and because I feel that nurturing in me, I want to be the pillow, and I am that for people. I'm the pillow that's the last thing that happens. You just feel the comfort. And I don't really use social media, period. You know, I look through it. I guess is that a troll?
You use it.
I use it sparingly.
You're not a poster, though.
Yeah, I'm not a poster. So I was feeling guilty about not posting facts and doing that, but that's not what I was doing prior to that. That's not me. And I also know that we're called to change and to maybe be more than we used to be. And so in kind of my personal silence, it's more of a how am I really going to be the help that most people need?
I think for the show, not just Melanie, but for the show, I've been saying it all along, we need to keep doing what we've been doing. And like I said, this show is that place, that comfort, that familiarity for, if you think of the community, and then the community is involved in a movement, right? That's going on. We're that place that you can come and patch your bones, rest your head, hang out with your friends, get recharged, feel good again, and then go back out.
Yeah.
And that's the service that we're providing in the midst of this movement and this thing. We are home. You can come home, hang out with the No Simple Road family. We'll laugh. We'll get high together. We'll have some tea or coffee, which I've had too much of today. And, you know, and then you can go back out and fight the fight. And that we're providing that service for everybody, because it's so badly needed right now.
It really is.
I like how Eli, at the beginning of that, how he compared it to smoking a good bowl. Listening to us, he compared it to kicking back, smoking a bowl, relaxing, being comfortable, and getting into something you want to get into.
Yeah.
And then feeling the need and the want to share what you just heard with all of you, not just us. And I like that he said, I don't know if you're going to put this on or not. Well, I think
guess what?
all of our listeners out there, when you send this stuff in, we're going to put it on, man. Because
most of the time.
We really appreciate it so much to get feedback.
Well, and we need to listen to what the family's saying.
Yeah.
You know, again, if this is the place, which it is and has been for the last 3 years, to put your feet up and tell a story, then we want to hear from you guys too. And we say that every week. And when people do respond, we always get these gems and makes us think. And I just want to say personally, Eli, thank you for that, because I will listen to that again and dissect it later. Absolutely.
So yeah, man, that's where No Simple Road is at in the midst of this. We are the you could think of us as if there was a battle going on, and then behind the front lines, there's a tent with a big red cross on it. And then you go inside the tent, and me, Mel, and Apple are in there chilling with some water and a bowl for you.
Providing comfort, shelter, love.
So we love you guys, man. And it's a very, very difficult time to navigate thought, consciousness, and awareness. It's hard right now with everything that's going on socially, with everything that's going on with the environment, with physicality, with disease, with the election, with everything that's happening right now, look, take a minute, breathe, take a breath, close your eyes. You're here with the family. It's okay. Then you can go back out and do what you need to do. But for right now, you're hanging out with us, and you're going to hear from Mark Levy from Circles Around the Sun, who has a beautiful perspective on everything that's happening. But
well, not everything. Remember, you guys, this was before the Black Lives Matter movement. This was before the whole police brutality thing. This was before the second wave of Corona, whatever that is. So
I said to Apple yesterday, it's like next is either like demons coming up out of the crust of the earth, or like aliens coming and destroying a city, or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man showing up, or something. Because you can't just keep topping and topping until at some point aliens are going to have to show up. That's where my bet is for the next thing in 2020. I'm hoping for it anyway.
I think squirrels are going to start talking and tell us about their whole world domination.
You think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Mel?
I am going to help the squirrels. I love them.
Yep. Hell yeah.
I love them.
Oh.
Viva la squirrel! I don't know why I just turned French for the squirrels. But
Viva la squirrel.
Whatever.
For like with little French beret on a squirrel.
I have a cigarette and a cigarette holder, and I'm holding it backwards. Like, yeah. All right. But we're going to do the business.
Wait, I was going to mention one more thing.
Okay, we're not doing the business.
I wanted to mention this at the beginning, but then we went other places. Did you guys see that yesterday? It's kind of cool, and it always just it gives me goosebumps just seeing it happen. Did you see where they airlifted the bus out into the wild? The bus that's been out in the middle of Alaska, the movie Into the Wild.
Really?
They finally airlift, which to me was kind of sad, but also at the same time they needed to do it. If you go online, they took like an Army Chinook double-bladed helicopter. They had to go out there. They had to remove it because so many people have tried to make that trek out there to find it. Several people have died trying to do the same thing that he did.
Whoa.
And Into the Wild. So they had to go remove the bus from the wild so people would quit trying to go there.
Really?
Yeah, they don't know where. There's no plans yet, but they're going to figure out like resting place for the bus.
They need to do that
bring
with
it
further
somewhere. Yeah, it was just it was. I don't know. I don't even know why I needed it. But it just that movie and that whole story and everything is so awesome. And seeing them removing that bus from
It's a great soundtrack.
It's in the the movie, the soundtrack, that story of what he went through and everything. It's just amazing. And to see them removing this bus because so many people are going to seek it out.
Well, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, I've thought about
what
it when you
makes
hear
somebody want to do that?
that to just
There's
go
a lot
out
of
into the
reasons.
wilderness, and I mean that's removing yourself from everything. That's
I'm out.
One-on-one, mano a mano
Yeah.
with nature. It's you and nature, and you better know what
Come
you're
correct,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah, nature doesn't have kid gloves. Nature is brutal.
Yeah.
Beautiful and brutal.
Yeah.
And will tear you a new one like that it
With
did
no
with him.
apology.
No, just like, oh, you're dead now. Oh, your arm's
It's
off.
not even that. There's no acknowledgement.
To me, too, part of that too. Like, I mean, there's a beauty in that too. Kind of like how they say, like Indians did it and stuff, and like how dogs and how they'll wander off into the wilderness when they know they're to like do that, to be at one with nature when you go. To me, has always just been something like wow, what a way to,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot. I just wanted to bring that up. I saw it yesterday. I saw it at work, and it like gave me goosebumps.
Well,
Just
if anybody
the
out
whole
there has
thing.
access to a double-bladed Chinook Army helicopter, we need to do that with further because it's rotting in the woods on Kesey's farm. You get it out of there and get it restored or put in the Smithsonian or something. Anyway, we're going to do the business. You ready to do the business? Let's
Yeah,
get
that
into
was
the
my
interview.
side note. I just said that.
Thanks
that
for your
was cool.
sidetrack,
That
Apple.
was a
It
cool
was
thing.
really cool.
All right.
Follow us on Instagram at No Simple Road and Facebook at No Simple Road. Join the No Simple Road family group on Facebook. And hey, guys, if you're on Instagram, I'm going to ask you to do a favor. Two things. First thing, when you post, use the hashtag No Simple Road so that we can see what's going on with the family out there. And then the second thing is, everybody that's listening to the show, share No Simple Road on your story or with a friend that doesn't know who the show is. All right? So you guys get what I'm getting at here? Help us grow the show. So share on social media, on Instagram, with somebody that doesn't know who we are that you think would dig the show. That's easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I like that. That's how they help grow the show. That's like feeding the show, getting other people to
Another way
partake.
you can help do that is by going to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Check it out, man. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Our entire summer and probably through the end of the year has been canceled. There's a big close sign with the neon is shut off, actually.
Come back next year.
Come back 2021. We'll see you then. And the summer and all that festival season is how we keep things going apart from Patreon. And so that is not there. So we need your help, man. Patreon.com/No Simple Road is how you can make sure that we continue to bring you conversations and fun and keep this Red Cross tent in the desert up and running for you guys. So that is patreon.com/No Simple Road. You know what to do. You can also go and donate one time on PayPal and Venmo. And, you know, we need it, man. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway.
Keeps the bus going.
You can go to www.nosimpleroad.com. That is where all the back episodes of No Simple Road live. Also, there is a gear tab on that, and you can get No Simple Road merch. And, yeah, I don't know. Am I missing anything? Oh, 5-star reviews.
5-star
on
reviews.
Apple
Do we have any
Podcasts.
new
No,
ones?
I looked.
Aw.
Unfortunately, we haven't had one since we went all of May, and we're well into June. So somebody give us some June love.
All right.
We need some June love. Come on.
some June 5-star review.
You that was just thinking, I really should leave them a review on Apple Podcasts. That I'm talking to you. All right. Stop what you're
We have over
doing.
350 reviews on there.
It's fucking awesome.
No, I'm just saying that's a.
But we
thank
need
you guys.
we need a June one.
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah, June.
that person that I'm
Make it
talking
Come on,
to,
355.
June bug.
sit down, go to the Apple Podcast app, hit search, type in No Simple Road, scroll down, hit reviews, and leave it. And then you'll have done it, and you'll be like, you know what? I did something that didn't cost anything that helped the No Simple Road family out. So that you could do that right now. Come on, here we go.
It doesn't cost anything, and it pays off so well because we get so excited.
You should see Apple's face. He comes running up the stairs with his arms flailing, like, "Yay, another review!" You don't want you guys? I'll film it.
I'll do it.
He will. All right, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
You ready to talk to Mark?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Mark Levy.
Just kidding. I want to tell you one more thing. Sorry. You thought
And
we were
we're back.
If you want to watch this, you can go to No Simple Road's YouTube page, and I will have this up there. So, yeah, check it out. And now, without further ado, for real this time, Mark Levy from Circles Around the Sun.
Check.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what that's like, Mark. You remember those days.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Aw.
Are you
Yeah.
Are you in Colorado?
I'm in Colorado. Yeah, the west side of Denver.
It looks sunny.
Actually, the city called Arvada,
All right.
but I'm on the very southern border, southeastern border of Arvada, which basically comes right up to Denver.
Okay.
So I'm like 10 to 20 minutes away from everything in Denver.
So are you guys like, is everything opening back up or is it still locked down?
Honestly, I don't even know, and I don't really care.
Yes.
I love it, man.
I
is where
haven't
you've
really
come.
I don't know, I've sort of established this like routine inside of my bubble. I don't go out unless I'm going to the grocery store. I've gone to a few places that offer curbside pickup where
Yeah.
they'll just throw it in my trunk. I don't even get out of the car, like Home Depot and
Weird.
the garden center right across here in my neighborhood. And I don't know. I mean, it seems just like there's going to be a whole wave of things happening, and I just don't really want to be a part of it
Oh,
either way. I mean,
I
if
love
it's-
it, dude.
If it's positive, that's great.
I'm with you.
And then I will get in there. If it's negative, that's terrible, and I will continue to do what I've been doing.
I'll stay in my bubble. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's just out of respect for the most vulnerable among us, and I would rather, as everything kind of I do in my life, I would rather just err on the side of, I don't know if caution is the right word. Maybe not everything I do in my life, but you know,
I was just gonna say.
I tend to just I don't want to step on anybody's garden. You know.
I got you, man. It's a weird thing. Like this thing that's going on has painted a very weird picture for all of us that, like, I honestly have no frame of reference for. And what you're talking about is something.
Excuse me.
No, it's good. It's all good. It's something that's, it's very eminent right now. Like anybody that has an opinion at this stage in the game, you're gonna fucking step on somebody's toes where we're at.
Yeah.
It's there's no way around it. It's weird. And like, I'd never felt like that before. I'm a lot like you, like in the political world and all that stuff. Like I always said I don't live in their world in the first place. Why am I going to take part in all that? Like I'm from somewhere else. I'm an alien. I don't have a say in any of this. But now it's like in my face, and they're making decisions that are affecting my life, and then my opinions piss people off, and I have to watch what I say, and like, what the fuck happened, man?
Yeah. I think we've lived in this internet age for quite some time now.
Yeah.
And I actually have always felt this sort of like push-pull with social media. And I was roped in a sense at the very beginning of Facebook.
Right.
Which I was in school at the New England Conservatory in Boston, starting in 2004. And in order to get on Facebook, you had to have a college email address.
Right.
So I was, amongst the first, I don't know, probably a couple, 100,000 or so people on Facebook. And immediately after leaving college, and actually during college too, because as a social networking thing, it was like, hey, come see this recital I'm playing on, or come to my ensemble's performance, or whatever it was. At the very beginning, it was obvious to me that it was going to be a necessary part of my existence forever.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Because, we can't, and I have plenty of musician friends that are just not, they don't mess with it. And I respect that too. Granted, none of them are my age.
Okay.
Right.
They're all like 10 years older or more. And I totally respect that. And I think it comes back to what we were just talking about. It's this whole thing gives individuals this ultimate access to anything, but whether or not you should partake.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the question.
Yeah, that's the question. And I think it then becomes a matter of personal style.
Yeah.
How do you want to interact in the platform? Or even for me, more often, honestly, these days, it's how do I want to kind of guard myself by not interacting?
Yeah, man. Mel and I were driving the other day, and I don't know, just like a lot of people out there, our worlds have morphed, and my world has changed a lot. And I've gone through this weird adjustment period of like, almost like grief, and just uncomfortability, and then having to like learn how to be in my own space for extended periods of time and not leaving the house and all this stuff you're talking about. We were driving, and Mel and I were talking about the news, and my boss and I were IMing back and forth, and I would present something and he would present the opposite, and then he would present something and I would present the opposite. And I told Mel, I said, the way things are, because there's so much out there right now, nothing is true. There's no truth for any of us to hold on to, and that's a hard space to be in for human beings, because we really do look for that, like the
Hope.
absolute truth and hope and all that
Answer,
stuff.
yeah.
But then any viewpoint I give you, you can immediately find the opposite. So we're in this weird liminal space between truth and nothing, and there's nothing to hold on to.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. I mean, I've been finding that I was just thinking this morning, it's like the whole idea has come to an apex with the notion of a virus, because we are now forced with all these opinions, ranging from expert to people that call everybody sheeple. And, you know, it's then what do? You can make your own choice, but ultimately, I think the truth in this matter will be seen, because we're dealing with a virus that, as far as we know, spreads through droplets that can travel in the air and sit on things. And, you know, the people, I was just seeing there's an armed, peaceful protest planned tomorrow. They're going to ride motorcycles up. I mean, and of course but it's like a motorcycle rally basically from Colorado Springs up to the Capitol. And, you know, they've reached out. It's led by like some former Green Beret or something, you know, and I respect people's
Gusto.
just passion for like doing what they believe in. Where it starts to get uncomfortable for me is when it's like the anger, I guess, really.
That's what I was going to say, man. That I think if one thing has come into really sharp focus, it's the importance of coming from a place of love. Like, that's
respect.
Yeah, that's like the thing, man. Like, you've got to come. If you start from there, I think that's really the only way to find truth in any of this, is like, does it resonate with love? And if it doesn't, then it's probably bullshit. Because it's so crazy and gray. And like you're saying, I think Apple and I were talking about that the other day, like these armed protests that are going on, and I don't know, man. The world really did change in 7 weeks, dude. Like I didn't see any of this coming, and like
when people feel their freedoms, or everybody's starting to worry about their, you know, freedoms.
Oh man,
being
so
taken away.
That I think is shining a light in a dark corner of the American culture, because it's like rights without responsibilities equals adolescence. You know, it's
shit, yeah.
We have our rights, but we also have the responsibility to take actions which will not impede and hopefully will improve the greater good.
That's not screaming fire in a in a building.
Exactly.
That whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally. And now the lines are blurred again, because
we're told something that's not like we're only told it until we need it, and then once we need it, we can't cash in on it. You know, like it's here. Your college fund is here. Oh wait, but did you need it for college? Because I wasn't planning on that. Like, we're needing to cash in on it, and they're like, oh, on second thought, that's not what we meant. You guys really don't have rights to say what you want unless you're saying what we want you to say. And that's been the hardest thing, is to see things that I have had sent to me, like, taken down from the internet because it's like controversial, because it goes against, and I'm like, I'm not even into conspiracy, nothing. But here it is, like, we're being faced with everything. Conspiracy, not conspiracy, weak truths, hard truths, friends that don't know what's going on, friends that are having problems with the virus. Like, there's so many things that are possibilities. So like what Aaron was saying, when he was like, there's nothing to believe, like it was kind of like a gut punch, but at least it was like felt like an anchor of truth. The fact that there's nothing to believe in felt like it felt like there's like this morsel. And because like usually I'd be the one with like words of wisdom or like it's gonna be fine, and I feel mute right now. Like
that's powerful, and I think there's a lot of beauty in that, honestly, and potential. Like in the experience that I've, and relatively limited experience with Buddhist philosophy that I've had, again and again, they come back to like abandon hope and give up. That basically hope is just fodder for disappointment. And
That's where your
also I've
suffering
been
comes from.
I've been getting into Stoicism I saw in one of my friends, Adam Morford, who makes these super cool Morphetes. I have one right here. I'll show you. He inherited his father's.
Oh wow!
Have you seen these?
Oh yeah,
things?
yeah. You and
No.
Joe. Russo has
Joe
that.
Russo has
Yeah.
like a bunch of these. He's got a gigantic one,
How
a tiny
fun.
one. So Adam lives here in Colorado, and we've been tight ever since we met, just as kindred spirits, more than anything really. And so I saw his Instagram story, and it was like this picture of from a page in this book, a handbook for new Stoics. And prior to this, I had no idea what really, I wasn't really that hip to what Stoicism even was. And, that it comes from ancient Greece and, Rome, and, like Emperor Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. And he's like one of the, I'd never even heard that guy's name,
Okay.
And it's so intertwined with Buddhist philosophy, the way that I'm picking it up. I think it's really powerful because primarily it's saying you can only give mental energy towards things that are absolutely in your control, which you end up finding after studying is very little, but also a huge thing. And
Right.
ultimately it boils down to your thoughts. I mean, you can control your mind in some sense. So it's that practice of like, I don't know, taking away the layer. There's plenty of ways to look at it, or analogies, metaphors, but taking away the veil, or just recognizing it, or whatever it is, putting something between you and your emotions. Also, like a
buffer.
Who is watching the watcher kind of a
Yeah.
question. And yeah, it's been really powerful during this time to.
How has it helped you, Mark? Like what have you noticed from it? To the
I've
degree
noticed
you're studying
a
it.
sense of stability in knowing that there's so much that's just completely out of my control.
Letting
in a
go.
way,
Yeah.
recognizing just how much pain and suffering I've put myself through, and just unnecessary suffering. I mean, there was this quote that I came across. I don't know who it's from, and this is not verbatim, but essentially that humans are the only sentient beings that will end up paying 1,000 times for one mistake.
Oh
And
shit.
I mean, essentially talking about how we beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
And regret, in that sense, is totally a human thing, you know? And I guess it's been powerful for me to just recognize that we've been doing this. We've been in this kind of internal struggle for forever, and people have been talking about it in really brilliant, with really brilliant thoughts for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And from many different angles. So kind of like, I really like the idea of religions like Baha'i, or, you know, Unitarianism. I know very little about them other than the fact that they are taking things in which resonate, like you were saying. Does it resonate with love?
Right.
And if it doesn't, then forget it. So it, you know, Baha'i says we should learn from all the great prophets. You know, we all have the same God.
Yeah. The same spark
that's
is in us.
And so I'm in a sense kind of, from my own personal experience and with different philosophy, kind of like piecing together things that resonate with me. And I guess oftentimes it's the broader it is, the more compelling it is to me.
Yeah, well, that
You
leaves
know?
room. There's room in those broad things for us to feel the feeling of it and feel how it works with us, how we're made up. There's space in there. If it's absolute, there's no room to move around inside that thing. It is what it is, and that's that.
Yeah, no room to grow.
Yeah,
or
but if it's
anything.
broad like that,
Yeah, right.
I can feel it and ask myself what it does for me. It really, what you're talking about really reminds me of Robert Anton Wilson, and he's written a bunch of
make
books.
some notes.
Yeah, dude, check him out. But one of the things that I got from him that really like has stuck with me years and years and years is the only thing that I know for certain is my own experience. Your experience is interpreted through your lens, through your upbringing, through your biases, non-biases, moral code, everything that makes up your experience. So if you tell me something that happened, it may not be true for me because I'm a completely different person. So your own experience is the only place that you can find that.
So then that makes truth malleable too, because
Well, yeah, you're right. I guess in the moment it does. I mean, but experience. What you're saying is experience teaches.
Yes.
Words don't teach.
Right. That was a really good way to say that.
I mean, I've been feeling that, and you know, kind of like sitting with that for. When was the last time we talked? Was it like a year ago?
We talked when you were here and.
Or no, I mean like did a.
Oh
a
yeah, like a year.
Man,
yeah, right?
What a year,
dude!
Oh my God,
Mark, what?
wow,
what a year!
Wasn't it probably like the highest and the lowest you've ever had in your life?
Oh my gosh, yeah, but you can't have the highs without the lows, is what I've learned. And like what you were saying, my response to what you said is exactly that same reason. I mean, if you feel like there's no hope, what an amazing place to start from. Yeah. You know, like, and honestly, that kind of a idea, and that it's probably like a direct quote from Pema Chodron, and some of her books have been like absolute anchors to me, like must read. I've been telling as many people about it as I possibly can right now. When Things Fall Apart by Pema Chodron.
Okay.
It's an incredible book. I mean, and the subtext of that is heart advice for difficult times. And she is just this incredible teacher that has a way of connecting that I think is super special. And she is a Buddhist teacher from the Tibetan tradition that made its way to the United States via Chogyam Trungpa, who founded the Naropa Institute,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the Shambhala Center in Boulder here in Colorado. So she is an American woman,
So
born
she
and
gets
raised.
the Western mind.
Yeah, exactly. But now she ended up in the late 60s, I believe, or early 70s, ended up becoming one of Chogyam Trungpa's disciples. And, then I don't know how many books she's written, but it's a lot. And some of them are like on Audible, and it's just her lectures, which are amazing too. And I just cannot more highly recommend her. I mean, incredible stuff. Really,
I got
really
3
incredible.
credits to use right now, man. I'm in.
Sweet, awesome. Yeah, I got one. I'm like, but
have you always been a searcher? Because there's some people that are just easy going and let it all just happen. You and I are like in that. And I think that's why I felt a connection with you the first time we talked. Is we both have that thing. Have you always been that way?
I've always been a thinker.
Yeah.
And I think as I've grown older, I have seen the double edges of that sword. And, as a musician, in high school, I remember so clearly my teacher telling me, essentially, like, you got to go easier on yourself. Because you're doing a good job, but you're making it a lot harder for yourself, and you're going to impede your process, your learning process and your growing process. And of course, I wasn't able to apply it more broadly in my life. I was like 15 years old.
Yeah. You don't hear that the right way at 15.
But I was hearing, okay, like, don't get so pissed off at yourself if you
Right.
crush down that double stroke roll, or whatever, So yeah, throughout the journey, I have always been this way, but I don't know, I gravitated towards things that seem like they put like a lasso around it, but not in a way that it's constraining it, like a way that it's like a power lasso or something. I don't know.
It changes shape. It's like Wonder Woman's thing. Yeah,
Yes,
gotcha.
that's what I was trying to. I didn't want to like put that out there because I had no idea what the reference was, but like, yeah, and you got to like all of a sudden tell the truth or whatever. Is that what her thing is?
Yep. The lasso of truth.
Yeah, exactly. So, and also I've for a long time really just been so grateful for a life in which I could bring it all together. And music is such an incredible way to transmute. You can take this emotion and then you transmute it into can be a terrible, and after Neil's death, grief and sorrow and fear and just anger and everything, all of that, and it was terrible, just like, but the best thing during that time was playing music.
It didn't hurt.
Did it hurt?
Yeah. Did it hurt?
No,
because I know like when stuff like that happens, sometimes it's difficult to go back to it because it's so reminiscent that it's painful to revisit.
I think that's catharsis.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
That's what it felt like in the moment. For sure. For me, I think I could speak for the other guys too, because, and those, man, like when we had to start first to think, can we go on? Do we want to? That was really the first question, I guess. Do we each individually even want to do that? And of course, like you just said, maybe it would be super painful, but when we started to finally like get to the point where you actually have to go like, oh shit, this is actually it. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it became really cathartic. And I was talking to Dave Schools in the weeks after Neil left, and he was the one that put the notion of transmutation in my head. And, also that our souls basically entered into a contract to come back to this plane, and we had certain things which we will learn or experience. And it was, would I ever want to do that again? Absolutely not. Am I grateful for the experience as it happened? Yeah, I guess I am. Even though I still obviously have, there's a lot of pain involved in thinking about this guy. He's on my cup.
Yeah, man.
And honestly, sometimes he's sitting there and I just turn it around. And I'm like, I can't look at you right now.
Can't today.
I just can't.
But on the other side, I have Carl Denson.
When all that went down, man, like a lot of people out there had connection with him in one way or another, and it affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways. But you and I texted, I don't know how long after, and you guys hadn't decided whether you were gonna keep going. And you had asked me, what I thought, and I appreciate that, man. That meant a lot to me in that whole thing that was going on. But my first thought was like, absolutely, you got to do it. Like that's what that machine, that beautiful garden that you've grown can't just go fallow. Like it has to move on, has to keep going. But it's so easy for me to say sitting from my porch, you know what I mean? For you, yeah, dude, do it. Like in that space when you finally decide, okay, like we're doing this, we're going to continue on. Is it like finding your legs again? When you get.
But I gotta say, for me, and I was already kind of on my personal journey that stemmed from heartbreak, and when we talked last, I was like, deep in that.
In it.
I was, oh my God. Yeah. I was so manic during those times. And we were on tour and I had never felt so alone in my life. And it's nothing against anybody that I was with. They're all great friends and very mindful, loving, open people. And Neil included. He gave me a lot of support during that time. But you get into the bunk, and that was like my dream. I've been working towards the dream of touring, traveling in a bus
with a bunk.
Oh my God, yeah, and then I was in there, and it was like this coffin of desperation and loneliness. It was like, oh my God, what the hell is this? And then basically around that time, I started saying, I'm living my dream, and dreams can get really fucking weird. So I'm still saying that.
We're still in it
now. Yeah. So, so I started that really introspective kind of healing and growth journey, I guess you could say. And then Neil left, and it sort of was like I was growing this leg back, and then it got chopped off. And then the process just continued with a different, it put perspective on my previous grief. Really, like, so in that way, it's just a process, and it was all cumulatively happening and connected. And that continues today with this whole thing is such a mental, it's it's more mental than
Mhm.
anything
Yeah.
that I've been through, for sure, because the sedentary or like stuck in one place thing. So I feel super grateful to like the place that I am. I'm not in an abusive relationship. I'm not, like, there's so many things that I my heart goes out to people out there. And it's springtime, and all the plants are just like, the
Calling
renewal is
out. The
incredible. I
birds
mean,
and-
I had to cut these rose bushes down to the ground like a month and a half ago or something, and they are like, it's insane. I mean, I can maybe show you later, but they're like, it's so awesome. There's big fat rosebuds are just coming up, and like, it's like it never happened. Like, that destruction never happened. And this rose garden for me is like an incredible, I don't know,
It's an
like
allegory.
analog to what's, it's, and seeing it every day, they're growing bigger and more lush, and really all over my yard. I mean, got like some peonies coming up and irises, and there's the lilac tree is like kind of finishing, and the smells are amazing. And so this whole thing is, I don't know, how do we appreciate things without having perspective?
I've go ahead, Apple. What were you gonna say?
No, that's, we brought that up several times, like through all the, like, it's spring, like spring has sprung. We're supposed to be out celebrating and congregating, and I mean, it is what it is. We're dealing with it, like you said, kind of in our bubbles, but it makes it even tougher with it being what is going on in the world as far as Mother Nature and everything. Everybody wants to go camping. You can't go. A lot of things we are supposed to be doing that's human nature, like to be out and doing stuff. We can't right now.
Well,
I
mean, if you take a look just in our little square of land that we live on, there's so much life happening. There's thousands of birds and slugs and rabbits and
Bunnies
deer
and,
and like
Yeah.
squirrels in my garden this
It's like
morning
National
stealing
Geographic.
tomatoes.
It
And
it
like,
is.
and there's all this
Hawks,
stuff going on.
yeah.
It's amazing to sit and watch it, because the vibration of people, the hive is calm right now. There's not a lot of vibration in the hive. So all the animals are like, what the fuck happened to all the people, man? Let's go check it out. And so they're everywhere, like going nuts.
And it's spring.
And it's spring, and they're getting randy and ready to mate, and everything's happening out there. And what you're talking about is huge, man. That taking it down to the ground where it looks like it's never coming back. That thing is just decimated. And then, a few weeks later, there's a fucking rose bush with buds on it. It's like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
We have a plant out front. It's called a princess
And this
plant.
is the emotional equivalent of what's happening with our society. We're being cut down we're being pruned so far down where it seems like we have took everything off that's good. But in order to get all the cancer out, in order to get all the junk out, you have to go deep. And in fact, you got to go a little bit deeper than the healthy tissue, just in case,
Scoop it out.
So you got to get that and then some. And so this is why it's riding so long. This is the and then some part.
We're in the in then some part.
Yeah, and it's different for everybody. Like, I hear what you're saying, Mark. Like, there's other people in worse positions, but you know what? Like, we're not them. And at some point, we have to think about ourselves. We really do. We have to heal ourselves. We have to think about ourselves. We have to give ourselves the energy. And you're like, okay, it's hard for so-and-so down the street, but right now I need to concentrate on Mark in my room right now. Like, I need to clear up my anxiety. I need to clear up my, regrets. I need to strengthen my, whatever it is that we're looking for, because we can't just go through all this and then, like, it's for nothing. How cheap.
Well, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that sentiment recently too. Actually, I think it was actually from an email from a rabbi
Oh, really?
at the Chabad up in Vale. I'm on their email list, and every Friday they do this Zoom l'chaim, before Shabbat starts. And his note in the email was basically about how it would be a total mistake and a waste to go back to the way we lived before.
There's no way.
I mean, and I take that on a spiritual level. I take that on a logistics,
Yes.
or like an actual literal level too. But what that's going to look like, I think, depends on individuals. So as a country, we're going to see. I have no clue. I have no clue what it looks like.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Some portion at some point when the time comes, I just have no idea when it is. And that's honestly totally fine with me at this point. I'm, maybe, I do acknowledge that because I am a musician, that like all of us, we're not working as we were. I mean, there are some opportunities that I'm super grateful for, like tonight.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Circles,
about this.
Yeah, we're, the Live from Out There online festival, and Live for Live Music is doing one that we're going to be a part of coming up too. And there's all sorts of things like that, very cool, but it's just so different, and I was just, to finish the thought, I was just acknowledging that because we were the first to get grounded, and we're also going to be the last to get to resume whatever as normal, as close to normal as it gets, whatever that is, it's not going to happen for a while. We all have accepted that. I think that maybe that's also why I'm not like, get me back out there. I want to go, I don't know. I wouldn't go drink a beer in a bar right now if somebody paid me $1,000. And believe me, I could use it.
That was the best
That was
couple
beautiful.
sentence I've heard.
That look in your eye.
And it's not
dude.
nothing. I'm not trying to, throw shade on people that do. I'm just saying, for me personally, my rate of needing to get back into, that, it's just, I don't know. I guess I've already put it in my head, whatever. Some people would call me a sheeple or whatever, that I, I've already sort of accepted, okay, this is going to be a protracted battle against this vicious virus that I do believe is killing as many people as they say it is. And I do believe it is a massive global disaster. So if it means I have to sit in my beautiful, safe home with cleaner than ever air outside, and maybe not ever, but cleaner than normal air outside. And even if it, I am totally, if that is what's going to help this situation heal itself, then I'll do whatever it takes,
Wow.
And it's
that's a sweet thought.
That's awesome, man.
It's a true sweet thought, because you know what, like whatever it takes for all of us. You want me to stay here? I'll stay here. You want me to do it? I'll do it. Whatever.
And like we were saying before, this is freedom. I feel free. I feel absolutely free, but also I feel responsibility to my fellow citizens. So for me to run out and just I don't know, there's a million things I can think of going and doing right now that would be against like that would go against my gut or,
Your heart, yeah.
my heart. It's just not, that's not where and going back to what I was talking about before, it's like, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not even giving it any mental thought. Therefore, it's not producing anxiety because I'm not worried about when I'm going back to work because I have no control, zero control over that. So in order for me to just be healthy when it does happen, I'm not going to think about it.
Right. When it does come, it'll be a gift.
That is,
and if I do think about it,
off.
I acknowledge it and then just let it go. And that's like the mindfulness meditation practice that coming into play. It's like that, the skill of being able to just recognize like that is not a helpful thought, or you are about to start thinking really hard on something you have no control over. Just let it go. Just like, I love the image of a feather just pushing a bubble away. Because I'm not like, no, kill the thought, because then obviously you're going to create a trigger. Anytime that comes up, you're going to
jump on it. Yeah.
You're triggered. So it's like, face it. And that's been part of the process, through a lot of this last year.
Dude, I need
run
this
away,
conversation.
Yeah.
I needed this, Mark.
That's
really
such a smart
Cool.
move
Thank
on
you,
your part with the whole meditation thing. Because what you're doing is, you just said earlier, this is like a mental attack, what we're going through, right? Like this, but when you're strengthening your mind through meditation, that's exactly what is needed for this exact period. We don't need to like beef up. We don't need to have tons of money. We don't need to look cool. We need to strengthen our minds right now. So focus on that. And when we get out of that, then we can focus on fun or focus on reestablishment or focus whatever. But you're playing the long game, and that's really awesome that because you look good. Like looking at you, you look good. You look clear.
Happy.
You look like as good as any other time we've seen you, so clearly something is working. And thanks for saying what you said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, I appreciate it. I have been very focused. Maybe just different. The focus is different now because for the first time in my adult life, I mean, I've slept in my bed for more than 5 days straight.
Dang.
Wow.
I mean, and like I have part of my mental stability over a year ago became physical stability. So I was driving Cat's manager crazy, making sure that our like the hotel where we had a day room on tour at least had some sort of a shitty little gym or something like that, because when everybody else is taking their showers, I'd be in the gym getting my head right. And not only was that part of it, it relieved some of my anxiety about my body breaking down, playing 2-hour shows 10 days straight, which we just did at the end of February, beginning of March, right before this all hit the fan with Metzger. And that was like, I don't know, it was 10 days straight all over the Northeast. And I think a year ago, I would have been like so terrified that my body wasn't going to be able to make it or like perform up to my standards. And we did it. And I was like ready to go for more after 10 days. I could have done like another 10 days. And believe me, we all wanted to, and we had this tour. We were going to come and see you guys.
Yeah.
And it all got, wiped off the map, but we want to get back out there
it'll
so
be back.
bad. And
it's coming back.
You guys, I'm excited. I'm super excited for you guys to hear. I know we released our like live album, which is all circles with Metzger. But, as this stuff comes out, I feel like whenever I listen to it, I just get really excited for the future because I mean, it's a band, and Scott is such a phenomenal musician and such a deep and sensitive and smart person that he's able to, and he also comes from like a very similar place, like cosmic, or not cosmic,
I
like
got you.
literally place. Like he's from New Jersey. He was like a metal kid, he's kind of like alt a little bit like Neil was. And I don't know, like Krasno also incredible.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Scott really, I don't know.
It clicked
It was
in a different
amazing.
way.
Yeah. And I don't know. He has, I just can't imagine anybody like right now, at this, this moment in the evolution of our band that is better to, take up what Neil started and honor it in a way that is just like feels really, really true and genuine. And when I listen back to these recordings with him, all of that stuff is just like coming to me energetically. And I'm like, oh my God. And it started really this week because we were listening back to, I honestly didn't really, I listened to like the mixes of our live record and stuff. And I don't know, maybe it was just because we were still kind of deep in this thing, but this week then preparing for the Live from Out There festival, and I got to go over to Ross James's porch and we recorded that thing, me, him, and Todd Smalley. So that'll be on Sunday for Live for Live Music.
Oh yeah.
These opportunities that kind of just appeared this week, along with listening to the music and playing a little bit with people and then like listening to that, it was all just, again, really cathartic. Just like, I don't know, I felt euphoric at times this week. Like I was on the phone with a few friends last night and I was just like laughing hysterically about really nothing, but it was, I don't know. But it's not like I'm feeling these deep depths of like despair and depression either. I'm not manic or anything right now. It's like, I am feeling very grateful that there are wheels turning, and I'm really excited about this Cat set tonight.
How do you do it? Are you meeting in person?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh no, it's fine.
That's all from the tour with Metzger.
Oh, okay.
Well, tonight, and a lot of the stuff we're using, so it's all like archival.
Oh, all
unfortunately, there's no like new stuff coming from Circles Around the Sun right now, but hopefully there will be. If things get better, where we can be in the same place or we can all go to LA. I mean, we've already been talking about it a bunch. It's just not appropriate right now. We don't feel it is. And so what you're going to hear tonight is our show from March 5th at the Union Stage in DC. And Lance from the Mad Alchemist Liquid Light show has done a show over that music.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah, so you'll get to see his Liquid Light show and hear our audio from
that show.
I'm in.
Right on.
So he's amazing. He's amazing with what he creates.
Yeah, he is amazing. He's totally like rejuvenated that form of art. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Nobody that I've seen does it like him. And I think he's done a really amazing job. And I'm psyched about the quality of it all, and how, we had the foresight to be recording all of our shows with multi-track. And I don't know, everything happens
for a reason, man.
and it happens because it happened.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, everything happens for a reason.
That's the reason. Because it happened.
Really? Like,
Something.
it happened just because it happened.
Well, we just don't know what the reason is half the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something that we've talked about on the show a little bit is the gratitude factor of live music. And like prior to all of this, not that I didn't appreciate going to shows and having live music. It's my favorite thing to do. I love that. But there's a new level of respect for the thing now.
How powerful
it is. And the
Oh, man.
the visceral nature of missing it. Like it's a real feeling. It's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
and when all this is said and done and we are at a show again, because there's going to be shows again someday. It's going to happen. It's just inevitable. People gather. It happens. We're human. When that happens, those first few shows are going to be way different than anything any of us have ever experienced before. It's going to be a new thing for all of us. We're going to be learning together again how beautiful this thing is, and that vibration of gratitude and love for the thing is renewed. It's like I said this before, like when you're a kid and you have a toy and somebody takes it away from you and then they give it back to you, you really appreciate that thing, and it's different than it was before. And this thing is going to be way different, man. And with people like you that are actually doing the work in the down season, there's something magical happening, man. There is this garden is
the roses are gonna boom.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, it's really like thinking of all of the experiences, like like you just said, in which you have something taken from you. Sometimes it takes somebody's death, or sometimes it takes somebody betraying you, or sometimes it takes a global pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is such powerful opportunities to, really find out where your foundation is based,
Where's your sound?
and I think again and again, like all these stupid old sayings that are like, oh, so cliche, they're just powerful in different perspective, like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
said in the right time. It can mean a
like
lot.
really, it's crazy that to think how resilient we really are. And I think it's super important. Resilience has come back again and again and again for me as just like an incredibly important and valuable quality to, I mean, you don't have to have it, but you should try to
cultivate it.
Cultivate it. Yeah. And that's totally at the root of really everything I'm doing in this like long game, kind of like, okay, I'm going to make sure that my body is not disintegrating. So then I would get back on the kit and have to like, oh crap, like who is this person? Or like the garden, just, like I'm careful with what kind of fertilizer I use out there. And I use all organic stuff in there. And every time I put the little tiller thing I have into the soil to weed around those bushes, there is like worms and like roly-polies and all sorts of like crazy just life happening in the bed of that garden. And it makes me realize that those plants that were decimated are only able to do that because they've got really badass, strong old roots under there, and it's surrounded by healthy soil. Like what will take out that combination aside from like an absolute,
destruction from underneath
or somebody ripping it out by the roots.
Right. Like extinction,
Right.
whatever.
Yes.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
extinguish it, it's gone. But I mean, this is, I just think, a really powerful time for us to kind of sit into our resilience and find it. And, maybe that means a little bit more attention to our mental health, or maybe it's a little more attention to our physical health in order to aid our mental health, or, and also like the mind body connection is so real. And remembering that right now, I think is really important.
Yeah, you brought up sleeping in your bed for the first time longer than 5 nights. Check this out, man. Have you ever seen those? I don't know what kind of flower it is, but I think it might be an iris or a lily, and they grow without soil, and the roots are just like in a glass ball. Have you seen those?
Yeah, it's like
There's a
a
lot.
lily, like, right?
I think it's
there's
a
lot
lily.
of flowers that
Yeah.
do that, like some succulents, or
Right.
Yeah.
But that's
orchids can do
you.
that.
Like, that's a musician's life. Not rooted in soil, just in the jar. Everybody's looking at it and can see the roots and all the stuff, and it's on display. And for the very first time in your life, you're planted. You're fucking planted, dude. And I think that's why you're resonating with the garden so strong, is because it's the first time that you have a bed and you're home.
You can see it every day.
Yeah, that's that. You're right. It's totally. I have been always working with the fact that I'm constantly moving. So meditation practice would be difficult, because sometimes you got to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the airport. And when are you supposed to meditate? I mean, I could definitely go and sit in a quiet corner of an airport somewhere and meditate. Unfortunately, I'm just not there yet with my practice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really an option for me at the time. I did start meditating in like the back lounge of the bus, which could be weird because sometimes the bus turns on and starts moving or whatever. Or like sometimes people have to get in there to get their jeans out of a drawer. Or, I don't know. So, all these obstacles to this consistency that I think is really important in practice, with music. Indian classical musicians have known for a long time that consistent and steady practice is the best way to reach good results. So there's a word for it, riyaz, and riyaz is not just practicing every day. It's practicing at the same time every day for the same amount of time. And it's very structured, and it's in order to build up this muscle memory, but the muscle is your brain. So practicing anything is not just like, I'm doing it, so it's done and I practiced it. There's always a technique behind the practice. That no, approach is exactly the same, because all of our brains are different.
Right.
We can, and that is really I think the root of experience teaches. Words don't teach, because it's about how we're doing it. How are we actually doing this thing? And I think also it's important to recognize right now that they call it task positive activity, like cooking, drawing, gardening, playing an instrument, whatever, doing something with your hands that you're focused on, and you are not, this is not, I shouldn't have done that.
Not keyboard.
Well, unless you're writing.
Right, yeah, writing, totally. But it is really good for our brain, because it's essentially like refocusing us on what is actually happening,
Bringing you into the moment.
bringing us into the moment and focusing our energy and our attention. So, again, it's like a little hack that you can use, but you can also totally ignore that and still, like, I've been in practice sessions in my life where I'm just like totally going through the motions, because I'm like, I got to get in an hour right now or whatever.
Right.
And again and again, you find that those are not the best times. And oftentimes the most productive and the best times, and there's even a quote from Yo-Yo Ma about this. He says, if, the times that you do not want to go and practice are the times that you should go and practice. Like when you feel like you just absolutely don't want to, that's really when you should go and do it. And, there's a lot of different things like that. Like it's easy to meditate, at the mouth of the cave where the temperature is perfect and the weather is beautiful.
Right.
But try going into the cave, and meditating there. That would be, they say that would be a more beneficial practice. But you might not be ready for that. It might just be a fucking scary dark cave and you wouldn't get a second of practice in.
Yeah. Totally. You brought up cooking, so I'm gonna ask a silly question. Well, first question is, are you vegetarian?
No.
Okay, I'm not either. So,
but I mean, I think it's great. I was a vegetarian for moral reasons for 2 years.
Okay.
But I stopped because I felt really anemic all the time, and
your body needed something different.
So what did you do with those moral feelings?
Wait. I was going somewhere. Hang on.
Sorry.
He's going to lose it.
I'm going to lose it. So we have a routine in the house. There's 5 of us, 5 adults, and everybody has a dinner night, right? So like,
oh, cool.
When one person cooks.
I wish I had that.
Tonight's my dinner night.
Nice.
And I haven't had any new input, so I cook the same things over and over again. So help me out, man. What should I make for dinner?
Oh no. Well, what have you been making?
What's one of your staples?
Oh man. Okay. One of my staples, I guess, has been like these oven, like one pan, like one sheet pan dinners, because I love it. I can just like chop up some potatoes, chop up an onion, and then put some chicken on there and throw it in the oven for 45 minutes. And maybe in the last 15 minutes, I'll put in like some asparagus or broccoli or something else to roast. So it's all super basic meat and potatoes, literally, with like a green vegetable.
Yeah.
Or I've been making chicken fingers, like oven baked chicken fingers that are like amazing. I'll just like chop them up and put them on a big salad. And that's been another kind of one of my staples. Okay. But that's kind of, I don't know if that's like really appropriate.
No,
like
that fit. That actually worked.
Adults.
No.
Well, I like the one dish thing. I mean, that we love doing stuff like where everything, so you don't have like a whole bunch of side dishes, pots of everything's in one, like casserole type thing.
Yeah, and like
everything you need.
The cleanup too.
Yeah.
I mean, just chop up some like garlic or mince up some garlic and put it in there and some oil, and just like literally the other night I just put like these boneless, skinless chicken thighs with potatoes and onion and like some oil and some seasonings, and just like tossed it in a bowl and threw it on a pan and put it in the oven for like 45 minutes. And it was so easy. And honestly, that has been one thing. I didn't really cook that much. I liked to cook, but didn't have the opportunities to do it very much. And now I'm feeding myself 7 days a week. It's sort of like I'm taking advantage of these little hack things that I find. Like it's just one sheet, and then I take it off and I clean the pan and it's done. Don't have like a million, like every pot pan that I own is out there dirty, and I'm like, all right, whatever,
What Aaron bought a Dutch oven not long ago, which we've been talking about getting free. Because those are amazing too. You just throw everything in there and it cooks so good.
Yeah. It's cool living with the people that I'm fortunate enough to be here with. That they're just like, everybody loves each other and loves to cook. So it's like
awesome.
Everybody's trying to outdo each other with the, like, you made that
awesome.
Meatloaf and broccoli the other night. I'm going to hook it up. I'm breaking.
Yeah, you can't phone it in
Parmesan.
the next night with something lame.
I opened a can of chili.
Have a little respect.
Yeah.
Tonight's cereal night.
Mark, man, I just want you to know that I appreciate you, brother. And I love you, man. For real.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
really
too.
did
Appreciate
something for me
guys.
today, man.
Yeah.
I needed to hear what you said. I have a problem with forward thinking.
He gets stuck there.
I get stuck sometimes in the forward, and you just reminded me some good shit today, and I'm gonna take it and use it. I need to be more comfortable. I've been really like
agitated,
but like not wanting to express the agitation and like
Yeah, you've
on
been
low simmer.
flailing around in it a
Yeah.
little, like,
And
I'm fine.
yeah, gritted teeth, like I'm good. And so thanks, dude. I felt the pressure.
man.
I felt the pressure release today.
Sweet. That makes me really happy.
Yeah.
It makes me feel great. I'm glad to hear that.
You
thanks,
should feel
Thanks
great,
for
Mark.
inviting me to come talk to you guys.
We
I
got to
love
stay
talking
in
to you guys.
closer touch. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Well, everybody out there, you know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
it's cats.
Yeah.
Mark.
Oh, 8 o'clock tonight, your time.
Wait.
It's a free
hang on.
free set
Hang
on
on,
Live from Out There.
Hang on.
Live from
I'm going to
out
record
there.
this and put it out. Hang on.
I'll throw it on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
Instagram.
Yeah, am I doing a little ad?
Yeah, for
shit, how
yourself.
can I do
Just
this?
record
Shout
him
out.
doing it and then
Yeah, but nobody
post
can,
it.
Nobody can hear it. Hang on.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Hang on. I'm going to figure this out. Here we go. Boom.
Or after you hang up, follow up with them
Nope.
on Okay. I was going to say there's many ways to record.
Go for it.
But you're not seeing him.
It's okay.
Oh. Okay. Good.
8 o'clock tonight, West Coast time, 11 p.m. East Coast time, Circles Around the Sun, Live from Out There Online Music Festival, free set, 1 hour with the Mad Alchemist Liquid Light Show visuals. It's a live archival set from March 5th at the Union Stage in DC. It's a hot show. Check it out.
Woo!
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Perfect. We'll get that out there, man.
Cool. Well, I hope you guys dig it.
Fun.
And then on Sunday, Ross James's Dylan and the Dead.
Oh,
That was
yeah, yeah.
actually recorded live, warts and all. First time we had any of us had played any music with other human beings for like 2.5 months.
On the
So
porch
it
at
was
his
super
place.
on the porch. Yeah,
Aw.
6 feet apart. And that's going to be at 3 o'clock your time on Sunday.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
So- Yeah.
All right, brother. I love you, man. Go have a good day today.
It's good to see your
Yeah.
smiling
you, guys.
face.
Yeah.
Great to see you guys.
Peace.
Later, brother.
Take care. Peace.
What a cool.
It's a great freezer. He's always got the best smile. He is always smiling. Just
It's a beautiful thing.
Look what he's doing with his time, being a positive sweetheart, trying not to get in anybody's way. Let's just do this, whatever I got to do.
Do it nice.
well, like I wasn't even thinking of that. Like the music, I hadn't thought of that yet. Like you're thinking like they're just going stir crazy, not being out there. Didn't think like he said like this is the first time I slept in my bed for
Longer than 5 days.
5 days.
He's like on a brand new journey with himself, taking self-care. Like,
out there
who is
digging
this
his
smart
roses.
Dude, well, I already said it. I needed that. I needed that today. Just hearing somebody else's perspective sometimes can be the thing.
And such a healthy perspective. The way he's going,
Well, I guess, you could look at it the other way too and be like, well, that's why you don't fucking watch the news. Because you get shitty perspectives out there too, but just knowing that like, hey man, it's going to be okay or it's not. It's not up to you how it turns out. Be where you're at right now. Relax.
Takes the pressure off of yourself.
It does.
Well, that I want to look into. Like we was talking, that was a new one on me. The stoicism, it's like a religion, and they look into that.
My mom turned me on to that, dude. Marcus Aurelius. Yeah. She like about 2 years ago, she was like shot out of a cannon. Did you read this book? Blah. And she sent it to me, and like, So anyway, all right, guys. You know what to do with all this stuff. We'll be back next week with more stuff and things. And
stuff and things.
Be nice to each other and yourself.
I think there's people who are being nice.
I'm just reminding them, sometimes we forget to be nice to each other. I was not so nice when we were at the grocery store yesterday.
You weren't. You were being funk
I was
to the
being
key.
funky.
Work.
It was just
Like,
bothering me.
It came in being weird.
He was in the line being weird, and I was just like, "Look, man, it's a different perspective. Like, it was gorgeous outside. Like, it was a short line. People weren't funky, and he's like, well, what if you don't agree with this?" And I'm like, "Whoa, dude, he's just." Working. What are you, the line police? The law? Like, whoa! I don't see it like that. I'm just
safety monitor.
Like,
We have those days.
It was just it was like it's information overload sometimes because I'm here in the house and it's like Zen house. La 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 rainbows and there's unicorns up in the ivy and like.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that's where your attitude is.
But then you drive down the hill and it's like 1984 happened, and it's like whoa.
Well, in the middle of this too, like I get that having bet like the other day I had a bad day, like everything. It's just like back to that person's a jerk. And then yesterday we did a thing at work, like people are getting more expressive with their eyes now. So yesterday was like a game all day. We're all starting to like. With our eyes work because we have to wear a face mask at work. So now you're like going like point your eyes other ways and like looking weird, like getting more expressive with eye talkers. Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, so
I wonder if that'll increase our
visual acuity,
strength around our eyes, or will it give us more crow's feet? Because
somebody out there that's a scientist, do a study. Yeah. And then send the results to info@nosimpleroad.com.
I appreciate that. Your eye study on.
Just make different movements. Don't make the same ones, because if you make the same ones, they'll stay that way. But
that's how you get those number 11s between your eyes.
Yeah, but if you make different ones.
Don't make that face. Just stick that way.
No, that face. Make that face. We'll see you guys next week. We love you. Take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Wash your hands.
I always keep wanting to say
Don't
hug
hug each other right now. Wait
till
till later
do that.
to do that.
If you have little babies or grandchildren or a
babies need
husband or a
hugs.
wife or a partner or some, hug them, because we need touch right now.
All right. Listen to Mel. Listen to Granny.
But
We love you.
don't hug strangers right now, though. Not
Smile
yet.
at you.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hell means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.